Hello all saints and welcome to this episode of Lectio Divina. As we approach the end of term, I would like to wish you all a very happy Easter and a restful break as you enjoy some time away from the usual routines of school and work. In this time of pause and reflection, we turn to today's Gospel, where we hear of Martha and Mary sending word to Jesus. "Master, the one you love is ill." When Jesus arrives, Lazarus has already been in the tomb for 4 days. Martha, in her grief, meets Jesus with both sorrow and faith, saying, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you." And Jesus responds with those powerful words, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live." This gospel speaks of loss, of waiting, of questioning, but also of hope. Martha does not hide her sadness. She still places her trust in Jesus. She stands between grief and belief, between what she can see and what she hopes for. It is a reminder that faith is not about having all the answers or never experiencing doubt. Rather, it is about continuing to trust, even when life feels uncertain. We also see something very human in Mary, overwhelmed in her grief. And later in the passage, we are told that Jesus himself is deeply moved. He shares in their sorrow. It reminds us that God is not distant from our struggles. Jesus enters into human pain and responds with compassion, showing us that our emotions, our challenges, and even our hardest moments matter. Yet the story does not end in grief. Jesus calls Lazarus out of the tomb, transforming a moment of despair into one of extraordinary hope and new life. It is a sign that no situation is beyond redemption, no darkness too deep for God's light to reach. As we reflect on this message, we can see echoes of that life and hope in our own school community over this past few weeks. It has been an incredibly busy term, and in so many ways, we've witnessed what it means to live life in all its fullness. Our production of Little Shop of Horrors stands out as a wonderful example of this. Bringing together nearly 70 students, it was not only a showcase of talent, but also of commitment, teamwork, and courage. For many, stepping onto the stage required overcoming nerves and self-doubt, yet the result was something brilliant, creative, and life-giving for everyone involved. Moments like these remind us how using our gifts can bring life not only to ourselves, but to others as well. Our celebrations of World Book Day and Science Week also brought a sense of energy and shared enthusiasm across the school, whether through creativity, imagination, or discovery. These events highlighted the joy of learning and the importance of engaging fully with the opportunities before us. All of these experiences connect deeply with our school motto that we are called to live life in all its fullness. In the Gospel, Jesus does not simply promise life after death. He speaks of a life that begins now, a life filled with meaning, purpose, and connection. A life where we are encouraged to grow, to support one another, and to make the most of the gifts we have been given. Living life in its fullness does not mean that everything is always easy or perfect. Just as Martha and Mary experienced grief and uncertainty, we too face challenges in our learning, in our relationships, and in our personal journeys. But the message of the gospel is clear. Even in these moments, there is hope. Even in these moments, new life is possible. As we enter the Easter season, we are reminded that it is the most important time in the church's year, a celebration of resurrection, of renewal, and of hope overcoming darkness. The story of Lazarus points us forward to the greater promise of Easter, that through Christ, life is stronger than death, and light is stronger than darkness. Easter invites us to pause and reflect, but also to look ahead with hope. It is a time to recognise the ways in which we have grown, the challenges we have overcome, and the opportunities that lie before us. It is also a time to consider how we can continue to bring life to others through kindness, encouragement, and the choices we make each day. So as you take this time over the Easter holidays to rest and recharge, I encourage you to reflect on your own journey. Where have you seen signs of growth this term? Where have you experienced moments of joy, creativity, or connection? And how might you continue to live out those moments in the weeks and months ahead? Take time to rest, to spend time with family and friends, and to appreciate the simple things that bring you peace and happiness. But also take a moment to be still, to reflect, and to recognise the presence of hope and new life in your own story. May this Easter be a time of peace, joy, and renewal for you all, and may you return refreshed, ready to continue living life in all its fullness. Thank you, all saints, and have a lovely Easter.